Hi, I'm Chris from Knob State Park. You can explore ecosystems when you build your own terrarium. I'll show you how. An ecosystem is a community of both living and non-living things working together to form a complete system. Our planet is one big ecosystem, but so are the oceans, forests, rivers, and deserts. Even your backyard is its own ecosystem. The living part of the ecosystem is made of the plants, animals, and insects. The non-living part of the ecosystem is made of the water, rocks, and soil. Can you think of examples of both living and non-living parts? Animals depend on plants to give them food to eat, oxygen to breathe, and a place to live. Plants depend on the sun for energy and the soil for nutrients. Plants help to power the water cycle by pulling water up through the roots and moving it into the stems and leaves. The evaporated air condenses in the ecosystem and returns to the ground as rain or snow. Plants transpire through their leaves, which allows the water to evaporate. Ecosystems can be very complex, but we will try to get a closer look by creating a terrarium. The ingredients. You will need a container or a jar to be your terrarium. I like old spaghetti jars for this, but make sure the jar is very clean. The container can be any size or shape as long as it can be closed with a lid. Rocks will be our substrate for the terrarium. You can collect rocks outside your home or find some at the store. I have some leftover aquarium rocks. Activated charcoal will help filter the water as it moves through the water cycle. This can be found wherever aquarium or fish tank supplies are sold. A barrier will need to go between the charcoal and the soil to help keep the soil in place. You can use burlap, shade cloth, or cotton, but I've got some cheesecloth that I'll double up. Compost will break down and add nutrients for our plants in the future. It's best if there are materials in the compost that still need to decompose. Soil will give our plants nutrients and a place to put down their roots. Our plants will start from seeds. I've got marigold seeds, but you can plant any kind of seed you like. Spice up your terrarium with decorations. I have a ladybug and a dragonfly I'm putting in. You can also add other plants like moss or lichen. The recipe. Collect all the ingredients we need and we can build a terrarium from the bottom up. First, add the rocks to the bottom of the jar. Take care because we don't want to break the glass. You need about 1 inch of rock, and this is where our water will be held. Next, add the activated charcoal. We don't need a whole lot, just a small layer on top of the rocks. We need to top off the substrate layers with a barrier to keep the soil from falling into the water. We'll add our compost materials next. Remember, you need things like leaves that will continue to break down later. Top the compost with your soil. I like to get potting soil with extra nutrients in them, but you can use topsoil. Plant your seeds in the soil. Be sure to follow the instructions for depth and covering for whichever kind of seed you have. Add any decorations you like to your terrarium. Give the seeds and the soil a good mist of water. Put the lid on and your ecosystem is complete. But you're not done yet. Our terrarium needs to be in an area where it can get plenty of sun. It's likely that our plants will grow too large for our terrarium, but that's okay. We'll just transplant them to a larger pot. Now you have what you need to explore ecosystems and build your own terrarium at home.